Okay, guys, so I'm here with my client Stephen. He's been in the program for about 7 months now, and he's made some really, really exciting progress despite a very tricky work schedule. Okay, a very tricky work travel schedule in particular. So, Stephen, mate, just introduce yourself, tell the guys kind of your work travel situation and what that looks like.
Yes, I'm Steve. I've been with Jacob's program for, as you said, about 7 months. Um, Fundamentally, I do shift work. So I'm out on the road. I do pretty much an 11-hour day, minimum 5 days a week, but quite often that'll stretch to 9 days in a row,
Mm,
with shifts and overtime and stuff. And it's shift work. So I can literally, I'll be out on the road from 8 in the morning till 7 at night 1 week, a couple of days off, and then I'll be out on the road from you know midday to midnight
yeah,
the week after. So trying to find uh regular to, to build a regular same thing every day every week is really hard. It's a real struggle for me, or was a real struggle for me, prior to sitting down with this. And yeah, it's a bit. It takes some getting used to. Not everyone can
yeah,
do the shift work. It's a physical and mental sort of challenge
yeah.
pretty much weekly.
And where were you at before joining the program in terms of how you felt and how specifically did the the travel situation affect you attempting to maybe lose weight?
I knew I was overweight. I mean, medically, doctors have said I was overweight, high blood pressure, yeah, all this sort of stuff. Which kind of, when you get to mid 50s, you sort of think, yeah, all right, this is my life. This is kind of where I am.
Yeah,
Wasn't happy with that.
yeah,
Knew that I wanted to lose weight. Listened to people. Knew that I wanted to do it, but had tried various, if you like, fad diets.
hmm,
In the past, and some had worked a little bit, but then I'd always relapse. There was no real structure to what I was doing, and I didn't have any sort of idea. You read things online, you listen to everything everybody else tells you without actually knowing who's telling you good and who's telling you bad. And my biggest problem was because of the shift work and what have you is, and I don't know if it's a typical male, but I'm, when it comes to food prep and like sort of sort of working out what I'm going to be eating that day and taking food with me to work, never happened.
yeah,
So I would be out at work, I'd be 6 hours into a shift, I'm hungry.
hmm,
Where should I get food?
hmm,
When you're on the road, that invariably is some form of fast food,
hmm,
takeaway, fish and chips. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And as much as you keep saying to yourself, I want to lose weight, I want to be healthy. And then I was just finding that work was, maybe it was an excuse, I don't know, but work was a barrier that was stopping me from getting to the goals I wanted to get to. At least that's the way I was thinking,
yeah,
you know, 7, 8, 9 months ago.
yeah.
Um, and so hence
How long had you been thinking that? How long had you been in that situation for, do you think?
probably since COVID,
Okay.
realistically. Do you know what I mean? Because I didn't take a break through COVID like a lot of people. I worked the whole lot.
Yeah.
Um, but I noticed after COVID that, it just got stuck in a rut, as
Hmm.
it were, that seemed there wasn't any clear way out of it. So you just went with it.
Yeah.
And I think it was probably a year ago. We had a family holiday, and my brother and my nephew both turned round to me and went, "Steve, you need to drop some weight."
Really?
Like,
I'm not sure you told me that.
yeah. So like, you're. I mean, no, wrong. I mean, I know Liam was another reason why I looked you up, because I'd seen the results with him, but
Yeah.
my brother John, he's not a small bloke. Do you know what I mean? He's more like a strong man. He's round but very solid.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, but they were, and I was like, well, yeah, I know I'm a bit overweight, but it's like when someone actually says, Steve, you need to,
The
you
way
need
they
to,
say it as well, I guess, right?
yeah, yeah, they kind of they say it in such a way that you know that they're saying it for your best interest. They're not
Yeah,
taking a
yeah,
piss, and they're not, oh, you can't get or anything like that. They're not taking the mickey out of you. They're saying out of genuine concern
yeah,
that if you wanna have a healthy life and you wanna sort of you need to start looking after yourself.
yeah,
Fundamentally, you need to drop some weight
yeah.
because and I think probably then I didn't weigh myself properly, but I'm guesstimating from past experiences that I was the wrong side of 100 kilos.
Hmm.
I mean, I was probably 104, 105 kilos when I thought, right, I
Yeah.
need to do something about this.
How did you
And
feel when you were that weight day to day? Like, what was that? What was that like?
don't know, probably, I was getting tired, a little bit lethargic at the end of the day. Um, but yeah, kind of just I don't
That
know,
must
just
have pushed. Yeah,
it become the norm. It
yeah,
become the norm. And so you don't realize because that's how things are. You don't
yeah,
realize just how bad they got.
mm,
It's only when you start trying to do something about improving your life,
yeah,
and then you look back, you think, my God, yeah. Do you know what I mean? I've got so much more energy. Well, where did that come from?
mm,
I mean, the biggest thing I think I might have said to you in the past was like silly little things that you notice coming down the stairs when you first thing in the morning you get out of bed, and you stand at the top of the stairs and look down and go, are my knees going to make it down the stairs?
yeah.
Do you
Wow.
know what I mean? Am I going to get down there without any pain,
Mm,
or have I got to psych myself up just to walk downstairs first thing
yeah,
in the morning? And that obviously fundamentally has got to be attributed to carrying an extra 20, 25 kilos around
yeah,
with you constantly. Your joints are going to suffer,
yeah,
and they were. I mean, I've, I've had knee trauma through motorbike accidents and stuff, so it's something I have to be mindful of.
hmm,
But the extra weight was definitely affecting my mobility a lot.
yeah,
And silly little things like that you notice after starting to work towards goals.
mm,
All of a sudden, no, I don't think about if I get a shout to come upstairs, I'll just jump right upstairs. I don't stand at the bottom, look up, and go right. Okay,
come on.
ready, you can do this. And you know what I mean? Get up the stairs. You just go, you just do it, which is it sounds really daft when you look back at it, but then you kind of
That was the reality.
that yeah, that was the reality. That's how bad things have got, but they
Yeah,
got that bad in such small increments that you hadn't really noticed that
yeah,
they were getting bad. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Um,
absolutely. So, what was the catalyst to you joining the program? You know, w was it seeing the results? Because obviously, your nephew, is it nephew?
yeah,
Liam, your nephew? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Liam was in the program. He lost 21 kilos. Changed kind of completely changed how he looks. And obviously, was it the seeing the results from somebody firsthand,
I,
or was
I
it that
think,
moment where they said something to you? What was that catalyst?
I think it was a combination of factors. Yes, the fact that people that I know, um, family, friends, what have you, had said, in a
Yeah,
jovial but some sort of concerned way that you're getting a bit fat or carrying too much weight.
yeah,
Doctors are obviously telling me that if I don't do something about my weight, then obviously my medication for blood pressure and stuff is going to have to increase, which I don't like taking pills anyway, so I certainly
yeah,
don't want to be taking more.
yeah.
Um, and I think there's so many stuff out there that you never know whether it's true or not. And I think the real tipping point was, yeah, seeing like my nephew, seeing the results in him, but I could see them. It wasn't like a before and after photograph. Like sometimes you see these before and after things, and you see adverts online or on the telly, and you're like, is it AI? Is
Mm,
it real? What? But because I could actually physically see that was real. It
mm,
wasn't like I knew it wasn't made up. So I knew that whatever he did, whatever program he followed, I knew that it worked.
yeah,
So therefore, if I was to do the same or a similar program, obviously all the programs are kind of built they're tailored to the individual because I
yeah,
can't do what Liam does. I
yeah,
can't do. his regime. I can't do his weights. I can't
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah,
his time. Do you know what I mean? But that's the beauty of it. Everyone is, they're tailored to you.
yeah.
Um, but seeing that, even that, the results that he achieved, I think that was the bit that really made me go, you know what?
Mm,
I he's done it. I can do it with
mm,
the right guidance and the right motivation and the right push.
mm-hmm,
I can see, I've seen them results work. I've seen that this works. So
mm-hmm,
therefore, I know that it will work for me if I put in the effort and I do as everything I'm told to do and everything I'm shown and
mm,
instructed and all the little bits I I should get results the same as Leah.
yeah. And I think
And
actually seeing, you can obviously see how this different somebody looks, right? But actually probably
yeah,
seeing the change in someone's energy, the change in someone's confidence, the change in someone's
yeah.
like all these other kind of things that losing weight and looking different kind of happen as a result as well. So, how did you feel once you kind of joined the program then? Let's say that first month. What
Um,
what what was kind of the initial reaction?
Very steep learning curve. The first thing that I think that we worked on was that fundamentally, going based on what I'd been told prior to joining the program, I wasn't eating anywhere near enough food to give me any energy to do anything.
Yeah.
So as much as like you think I'm going to be losing weight because I'm not eating anything, you fundamentally you're not actually doing yourself, your body, or your health any good because
Hmm.
I just wasn't eating. I think at one point I was when we worked it out, I think I was on like under 1,200 calories a day of literally salad and chicken
Yeah.
and you know it was and you're like, right, Steve, first things first, let's get some steps in
Hmm.
because that's a nice gentle exercise and start to get your body used to moving,
Yeah.
and let's get some food in you to give you some energy to get out there and get the steps in and get the walking done.
Hmm.
And then, you know, after a few weeks and right, you're hitting them targets, great. Yeah, right, now let's get a bit more food in. Let's get a bit. And I'm like, why am I eating more food? This goes against everything that anybody else has ever told me.
Yeah.
You go eat more, get doing it, keep eating more food. You need to. And sure enough, all right, in the first month, we pretty much stayed stagnant. I think when I joined the program, I was 96 kilos ish, I think,
Yeah.
thereabouts, you know, give or take half a kilo, but somewhere around the 96 kilo mark. And for the first month, we stayed at around about 96, but I was eating probably two-thirds of again of what I was eating prior to joining the program.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I was also moving more, getting my steps in, getting basic exercises done, and this and then tracking my foods and finding out although I'm eating more, I'm eating better.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And what I'm eating is that's the bit that got me. It wasn't because prior to joining, I was under the illusion that calories were the be all and end all.
Mm,
That if you ate, I don't know, 1,500 calories, you're going to lose weight.
mm,
But what I found out after joining the program with help from you was that I could eat 2,000 calories, but as long as I balanced the protein with the fat, with the carbohydrate, and actually got a balance of everything in that 2,000 calories, and it wasn't just 2,000 calories of a hamburger,
mm.
then I'm actually doing myself more good
Yeah.
than not eating food.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest real thing that I took away from the early days was that all this stuff about just don't eat or just eat salad or whatever, yeah, you might lose some weight, but you're not going to be doing yourself any good. And I had so much more energy after about 6 weeks
Mm,
where I was eating a decent amount of food. We could start to, like I say, get basic exercises done. Um, and you know, the the yeah, that was the biggest step for me was sort of like the realization of what and how to do things
yeah.
and the importance of planning meals, of the importance of um, like pre-planning what I was going to be eating that day,
Mm.
um, and eating the right foods. Those sorts of things really were the key learning parts early on in this program. Um, I mean, I want to just say, because obviously I'm guessing that you're going to put this out for people to see.
Hmm.
Um, when I say that the training programs that you do are tailored to individuals, I want people to understand that I've lost now, um, where are we? 96, I'm 83. So that's 13, nearly 14 kilos in
Yeah.
7 months. I don't go to the gym. I don't have time in my schedule to go to the gym. So everything that we've done and you've done for me, you've tailored it around me doing simple, basic exercises at home using minimal equipment.
Mm.
And, yes, I've bought some exercise resistance bands and stuff under your guidance, but you tailored the program to me. It's not like a one size fits all. Everybody goes to the gym 4 days a week or whatever.
Yeah.
We work together, and you sort of said that this. Okay, Steve, you can't go to the gym, so I will build you this program using these exercises,
Yeah.
and the results are from that. So that's what I'm saying. So every program that you do is tailored to each individual, and I think I'd like to think that I've shown that. You
Mm.
know, it's not just a case of. I know we've got guys on the program who do, and I see like them weight, doing 400 kilo leg presses, and I'm like, and but that's them, and
Yeah.
and that's where they want to go. I've got to where I've got to through like your help and your guidance. Um, um, uh, Doing it the
Yeah.
way that works for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely. And just to quickly, that's just reminded me, tell everyone like the progression you've seen even just with press ups from where you were at the start to kind of where you are now.
yeah. So I've been using that as a guide actually because it's an easy one for me to remember. But when I started on this program, and I got over an initial shoulder injury, I was doing. I think I was doing about 20, like maybe 15 to start with. So three lots of five, and they were girly press ups, as I call them. So on the knees,
Hmm.
rather than on my feet, and doing sort of 15 press ups. Currently, at the moment, I'll do 80 to 85 press ups in like four lots of 20,
Mm.
and they're incline press ups, so feet higher than hands,
Yeah.
and that's body dead straight, core strength, able to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other day I got up in the morning, and it was a rest day. I just wanted to get myself working in the morning, so I got up. I did a quick like 20 minutes on the bike just to get the day started, and then I
Yeah.
just thought, let me just see, and I with no rest in one block, I 42 press ups.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
in one go. So that's like 1 to 42.
Mm.
Let's say 1 to 41 because I think the 42nd one was a bit of a struggle. Um, but even so, that's like 10 times
Yeah.
what I was doing at the start of this program, and
Yeah.
that that's my kind of that's showing me that you know there's the progression straight away.
Yeah.
The strength that we've been working on in the last 2 months, that it's paying dividends.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? So not only have I'm losing weight, but I'm also um, gaining strength. So fundamentally, I'm burning body fat and then building muscle,
Hmm.
but still keeping my weight the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Absolutely.
it's like it's a win-win. But yeah, that simple measure, because it's very hard sometimes when you especially when you push yourself to like you push like the resistance bands, like
Mm.
you push yourself to to the maximum number of reps you can do every session,
Mm.
and then you put them in, and you look, and then I sit there and go, did I do 15 last week, or did I only do 12? Or do you know what I mean? And you can't really remember, but because I do press ups outside of my workout routines, I know how many of them I can do
Yeah.
in a go, and I know how far to push myself to see how many can I do next, how many can I do next.
And you'll never
So
forget how many you did right at the start, will you? Like
yeah,
that
no, no, like when
starting
I'm
point.
doing like literally, yeah, I could not do like a proper press up. So on your toes of your feet,
Yeah.
with your legs and body all straight,
Yeah.
and just going. I couldn't do one.
Yeah. That's
I
that's
couldn't do
bonkers.
one normal press
That is
up,
crazy.
and now I'm like 40
Yeah,
in one
that's
go.
that's great.
So
Do you have a
yeah.
video of you
So
try? Do you have a video of you trying to do one, or like right at the start when you first
no,
did?
no, I
That would
don't.
be
No,
awesome to have a before and
that,
after of
yeah,
that kind of. Wow.
yeah.
Okay, cool. And obviously
It's
the training thing is a big part, right? Making sure it fits in around your schedule with your kind of long shifts, all out,
yes.
always out on the road. The nutrition part, though, to actually shift the body fat and fuel yourself properly, feel as energized as we can, that is a big part, and probably the thing that most guys within the program when they join struggle with, and in guys in general who have some sort of element of travel, right? So the nutrition is obviously the thing that really a lot of men struggle with, right? Because a lot of the times we're picking something up on the go, we are kind of thinking on our feet, making decisions when we have, a spare 5 minutes. And I know when you joined, that was kind of something you were dealing with, picking something up
Mm.
where you had the opportunity to. So throughout the last 7 months, I guess, how would you feel that? How do you feel in terms of your ability to make a decision if you are picking something up on the go has changed, and why has that changed? How has that changed?
I mean, the reason, the why it has changed is knowledge.
Yeah.
Obviously, now having the knowledge to know what I'm looking at. So when I used to literally get hungry, you're on the go, and this is going to be a lot of guys in my situation where, like you say, you're on the go constantly, whether it's work or travel or whatever, and you just grab something that's handy, and it's either going to be a takeaway or it's going to be the nearest sandwich and a packet of
Yeah.
crisps. Do you know what I mean, in a meal deal? But now I will, if I don't pre-plan what I'm eating. So therefore I've prepped it and I've either taken it with me to work, or I've already sort of allocated a certain food, maybe chicken or whatever for lunch.
Yeah.
Then what I would do is, if I got caught short and I went into just literally a services or something like that to grab some food on the go, I wouldn't go to the fast food place. They're off the cards now, because I can't. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are occasions where you might think, "So what? I've got enough spare calories today
Yeah.
that I can have a
Yeah.
little treat."
Yeah.
But even the little treats now are protein bars and things like that, because you
Mm.
still get the sugar rush, you still get the nice chocolatey bits, but it's knowing that I can count those proteins and everything else that's going into the diet. But fundamentally, I look at labels and I'll read how much fats are in a food, how much proteins in a food, and I go for I tend to go for the high protein options all the time, because one thing I noticed early on was that the protein is of the three main bits that I'm concerned about. The protein was the difficult one to get into my diet.
Yeah.
Um, but then silly little things like, if I wanted, if like sometimes you have like a little snack next to you when you're in the car, or you just sort of grab something like little snacky, and someone might, I don't know, boiled sweets, or sort of like a packet of crisps, or a
Mm.
bag of peanuts. So I started getting little chicken bits. They're like little packets of little chicken bits, and then and I'd have them next to me as I'm driving. And if I got a bit peckish in the afternoon, I'd have half a pack of chicken, because it's probably nothing. It's 100 calories, if that, but there's like 30 grams of protein in it.
Yeah.
and I'm and it
And it's tasty, right?
and it's tasty. That's the thing. You get flavored chickens like in supermarkets. They do like the chili and
Yeah.
the barbecue and all this stuff. So they taste and then I'm eating these and going, these are really good for me. No fat, high protein, tasty. Or I could have got myself, some ready salty crisps.
And there's a time and
Like,
a place for that, right? And I think I would hope in
yeah.
this over the course of this process, it's like, right, we can have balance. I mean, you've also been on holidays, you've been to
Oh,
social
yeah,
occasions,
yeah,
things, and you've managed everything well. You've always come back and your weight has maintained. You've understood how important it is to stay active. But have you found that like in those situations when we're stressed, we've got 5 minutes during a work day, we're out on the road, we need to pick something up, just being aware, even if we don't have to be perfect and we don't have the pressure of trying to be 100% perfect, just being aware of kind of daily calories and making
yes,
sure we're not going massively overboard. And if we do go a bit overboard, it's not the end of the world, and we can just manipulate other things the day after, this kind of stuff. If you felt like that is almost taken a bit of a weight off the shoulders in terms
yeah,
of
yeah,
trying to be perfect and made it a bit more realistic with your work schedule.
yeah. So yeah, 100%. Because obviously, again, partially when I started and things that I've been told, it's like, if you're given a target of, I don't know, let's say 1,500 calories a day, that is it. You've got to hit that target every single day. And you're like,
Yeah.
almost to the point that you'd have a bit extra for lunch that you weren't expecting. And then you read, oh shit, I've hit my 1,500 calories. And like, 7 o'clock in the evening, I'm still hungry. And like, what do I do now? Knowing that, right, so I went a bit over today, I'm still a bit peckish. Find something low calorie, high protein, low fat that I can eat now, just to think drinking loads of water massively helps like suppress meal. Having a cup of coffee with a little bite to eat massively suppresses hunger. So knowing all these little things that you can
Mm.
do. So yeah, all right, I'll go a bit over that day. So all I'll do then is the next day, I'll say, right, so yesterday I went 150 over. Not the end of the world, and I can work a bit harder in my next exercise session. But also, what I'll do is I'll shave like 100 off today,
Yeah.
because then that way it balances the two out. So over the 2 days, the calorie count is correct, and knowing all this sort of stuff and having that flexibility to still, like you say, like yeah, I went on holiday. I think over these 7 months I've done two all inclusive holidays. Maybe no, three if you count the little mini cruise.
Mm.
So you know, being on a cruise ship for a week
With
with
unlimited food.
unlimited food, unlimited alcohol, and coming back and going, I've put on zero point 0.7 of a kilo,
Yeah.
and then within 4 days, I'm back to where I was before I started the
Yeah.
holiday. And you think to yourself, so how did I do that? And what did I do differently to this trip to previous trips? And fundamentally, the biggest difference for me was knowing that when I sat down for dinner, two things. One, just because there's unlimited amount of food available, I don't have to eat an unlimited amount of food.
Yeah.
I can just eat enough to be full and enjoy the food. But
Mhm.
also scan through the menu, even though I can't track it 100%, as you're saying, it's not about perfection, it's about balance. Knowing that, I don't know, a salmon steak, like a nice, really nice cooked salmon, um, is better for me than, I don't know, fish and chips. So you pick the nicer option. You
Mm.
pick the option that is going to have a better balance of nutrition than, and it's yeah, and that's massively helped knowing that I can look at a menu, and even if I can't get calories off the menu or I can't get in like dietary information off the menu, just looking at it and going, well, fish is better than beef, or do you know what I mean? It's like just knowing what food is going to be better for me, and it's all yes, it's it was it's and realize it's all that balance, and that's the big thing.
Can I just ask you a
not
question
so.
on that? Because I
Yeah,
think a
go
lot
on.
of guys in that situation, whether it's at a work dinner, whether it is at a breakfast buffet in the hotel, what do you find it hard to make that positive decision? And if you do, and when you do, how do you still make it? Like, what do you tell yourself,
Um,
or what do you kind of do in that situation to help?
I, I don't find it hard now because obviously beforehand when I was literally like cutting things out, breakfast was the first meal that went. Now I have breakfast nearly every day,
Hmm.
but making that choice when you're confronted with, do I want a full fry up or do I want a nice bit of like just sort of like some bacon and some eggs
Mm.
and keep it simple, filling enough, but with enough proteins and stuff in the diet to be good for you. I I weigh myself every morning, so fundamentally making the educated choice for what I'm going to have for breakfast. I go right. So this morning I was 0.2 of a kilo down from yesterday because I ate properly.
Mm.
So do I want to now jeopardize that
Yeah.
for the sake of an extra bit of toast?
Yeah.
Or do you know what I mean? No, no, I don't. I
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to. So the motivation is the results,
Yeah.
or for
That you're
me,
already
that
seeing. Yeah.
that's the. So when it comes to, yeah, yeah, you see the results, and so making the right choice once you know what the choices are and how to make them becomes almost second nature.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Almost to the point that you could. I mean, I now 7 months in, I reckon I could if I go away with work on a business trip, and 9 times out of 10 when I do those sorts of things, they always, it's an all inclusive breakfast. And I go in there and there's guys and they have got 6 rations of bacon, you know, 4 sausages, hash browns,
Yeah.
like 6 pieces of toast, 2 cups of coffee. And I'm looking at it going, first off, there's about 3,000 calories on your plate. And secondly, are you eating all of that just because it's free?
Yeah.
Whereas I go in there and I'll get 3 rashers of bacon, 3 scrambled eggs, a nice black coffee,
Mm.
and even if I can't track that because I'm not in somewhere where I know because that's a normal breakfast for me,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's in the 350 calorie range.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm eating
Yeah.
because it's normal and it fills me up and I feel great for it. Do you know what I
Just
mean?
because
And
it's free, you don't have to go crazy, and you
that's the
can just
bit.
try and
That's the bit. Yeah, that's the bit I
you can
think
just
that I
try and
learned.
replicate what you're doing already.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. The planning part, the preparation part of this program is understanding that if you do something when it's easy, i.e., back at home.
Yeah.
So I know when I cook my eggs and when I do this, and I can track it all on my phone, and I know exactly what I'm eating.
Mm.
When I then go away somewhere,
Hmm.
if I have the same breakfast or something very similar, I know what I'm having because it's what I have when I'm at home.
And then the pressure's off,
So
right?
yeah, there's no pressure then because I'm eating the same food,
Mm.
and yeah, you can tweak it a bit in the evening. I tend to lunch is my tweak meal. I
Mm.
tend to eat a very similar breakfast most mornings,
Yeah.
and it's usually egg based, and I eat a very similar meal in the evening. Normally white meat would be either white fish or chicken or pork,
Yeah.
with lots of vegetables. I really love vegetables, which is lucky, I guess.
Yeah.
I do like salad. I do like salad, and I do like vegetables. So those are my like sort of two very similar meals each day, and then lunch is the one that I can tweak a bit, which is great because that's the one when I'm on the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the one when I'm away from home and I'm away from all the facilities, where I'm away from all the normality, and I have to, if I'm not careful, I have to make a sudden.
Decision.
albeit
Yeah.
not rash decision
Mhm.
about what I'm going to eat, and having that flexibility, the knowing that my evening meal is going to be X amount of calories because I've already pre-planned what I'm eating in the evening.
Yeah.
I know how much I've got to eat during the day,
Yeah.
and I know the flexibility I've got to have in my lunch. So I think that for me that was that was my planning part. The prep part was I did the prep in my head. I didn't batch cook,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
week's worth of dinners to take with me because, and hats off to the guys who can do that because you have my utmost respect, but it's not something I can do.
Yeah.
So my prep stuff was and planning was basically knowing what I'm going to be eating later in that day and preloading my
Controlled
trackings.
meals so
Yeah,
that you know exactly what you have remaining and can be as accurate in terms of ending the day where you need to with that
yeah,
meal where you can't be as
yeah,
accurate. Yeah, I love
yeah,
that.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So going
On all
into
this,
where you are now, then, like
yeah.
just we touched on it already, but how much progress have you made? How different do you feel? And kind of yeah, tell the guys about that.
So um, physical changes. I'm lighter, fitter, stronger. Um, I had to buy new work wardrobe because my old one didn't fit me anymore. Um, I've told you the embarrassing story about my trousers falling down in the airport. Um,
I
the um,
won't ask you to tell it
the
again on here.
no, no. The so so but the inch losses. I mean, waist wise, so in centimeters, I think I'm 90. I think somewhere in a sort of 10 to 12 centimeter drop in
Yeah,
waist in 7 months. Hence why the new uniform, because my old trousers were just they were genuinely 2 to 3 inches too big in the waist.
yeah,
I couldn't even pull them in with a belt. Um, T-shirt's gone down to a large from an extra large. You know what I mean? Everything. So all my clothes I'm having to sort of redo,
yeah,
get smaller. Neck sizes down. But it's just the like I say, the energy, the being able, silly things, being able to walk upstairs and not my knees don't hurt. Being able to, you know, have that sort of get up and go in the morning now. Do you know what I mean? I've got a, for me, it's worked really well that irrespective of where I am, whether I'm traveling for holiday, traveling for work, whether I'm on an early shift or a late shift, I can get up in the morning. Um, if I'm on an early shift, it'll be sort of 6:30. If I'm on a later shift, it might not be till sort of like 9:30 or something in the day.
yeah.
But sort of get up early, and the first thing I will do is get up, get out of the house, 3K walk.
Mm,
Don't have to be. No, I'm not going out to break any records. It's just getting out and getting moving.
mm,
Three about 40 minutes ish. Back indoors, have a shower, set myself up some breakfast.
yeah.
Where and so that's an hour. That's all it's the first hour of my day. And in that first hour of my day, I've got myself up, I'm out the house, I've done a little bit of exercise, got the heart up a little bit, got in 3,500 steps, had a nice healthy breakfast,
Mm,
had a shower, then I'm ready for the day. And invariably I'm then straight out to work. But if I'm on a later shift, I might have other things to do. But it's and before doing this program, one of the things I noticed that I had started doing and it become a habit of mine, and I was trying to think how can I stop it, and then fundamentally we have. Um, I would just wake up and I'd be like, okay, go on the phone, check socials, play some games, watch something on the telly, Oh,
Mm.
2 hours of just sort of lying around doing nothing. All right, let's get up and have a shower, and I'll skip breakfast now. I'll just have a coffee, and do you know what I mean? Then oh, I've got 2 hours till I start work, but I can't be asked to do anything, so I'm just going to sit around for another 2 hours, and then then go and start work and stuff. And you're
Yeah.
like, and so that was that become like the routine was just basically do nothing
Yeah.
until I go to work, and and then I'd get home at the end of the day, and like the missus would be like, "So what did you do this morning?" Well, nothing. I just sort of got up and got ready and then went to work. But the grass needs cutting, and this needs doing, and that needs doing. Why didn't you do any of that before you started work? And like now, I'm like up, bang, done. Start my day. Right. Oh, good. I don't start work for 3 hours. What can I do? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm already up. I'm active.
Yeah.
I've got energy to get things done. I'm not
Yeah.
just sort of like plodding through the day. Um, and that is massively one of the biggest changes. Having that early routine to start the day right,
Mm.
and having that energy to get out there and get it done, and say not skipping breakfast, getting there, you know, getting breakfast done, getting out. All right. Some days, if I'm on a really early start at work, by the time I've done my walk, got home, had a shower, thrown my uniform on, I'm walking out the door, getting in my van, and go to work.
Mm.
So then I know where I know where I'm going. I'm going straight to the one of the local cafe that I go to, I mean, I can almost walk in now and go, morning, Steve, and I go, yes, please, and my breakfast and my coffee's there for me, and then I'm walking back out again because they know what I'm ordering.
Yeah.
I know how much. I mean, it's just like, and it's ready for me almost like as I walk through the door.
Like clockwork.
But but exactly, yeah, but it's a routine, and this is the important thing that I've found is building these little routines, and trying to normalize travel, normalize shift work,
Mm.
um, so as you can manage the um, surprises.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's more normalized, it's you sort of negate the shock factor.
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest thing for me when before I started this was that shock factor, that sudden impulse with like, I'm hungry, I need food,
Yeah.
or I'm tired, I need sleep, or whatever. It was, you just reacted to what was
Mm.
happening at that moment.
Yeah.
Whereas now the routine is giving me planning, and it's giving me purpose, and it's giving me direction.
Hmm.
And so by planning, I don't have those sudden surprises. I don't have those sudden shocks. Yeah, I know that I'm going to be having something to eat in about 5 hours,
Yeah.
and I know that I had that for breakfast, and I'm going to have that for dinner. So I've got that many calories to play with. Or I tell you what, I might be in an area where I know, so I'll be like, oh, there's a place up the road. They do really nice sort of vegan or vegetarian dish because I've
Yeah.
gone quite like I say, I like my vegetables and I like my fruits and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, but um, but it might be a case I might be somewhere that I don't know, and then it's a case of right, quickly find a supermarket more than a fast food, and go into a supermarket. And actually, a lot of supermarkets now have like proper like deli counters where you can actually
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
some proper cooked meats, some you know proper like pre-prepped salads. Morrison's is amazing for it. Um, and actually, you can get yourself a really, really well made, filling,
Balance. Yeah.
balanced lunch for, what I mean, seven,
Yeah.
8 quid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, so that's all of
So the
these
root.
things. These are the changes to me.
Yeah.
It's not the physical changes are fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I really, really, I've got to the point I can look in the mirror and go, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
But but it's also those mental changes, those structure and balance, and everything else that comes with you know the whole journey that we've been on.
And it
I'll be
speaks.
honest with
It.
you.
Go on. Sorry. No. Yeah. Go on.
I was going to say that a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, Steve, you lost weight. You want to diet?" And I've been telling them I'm not. I said, "No, no, I'm not on a diet. No, I've done. I'm doing, or I have done a lifestyle change. I've changed my lifestyle. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't. That's old Steve. That McDonald's, fish and chips, eat when you can, no exercise. Do you know what I mean? Drink beer and that's old Steve.
Mm.
New Steve. No, don't be wrong. I still have a drink. I'm not. I haven't become a saint. Um, but again, it's all and it's also managing it.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier about like the travel, but also social occasions. Yeah, I will go. I do go out lots of parties, go to lots of concerts and gigs and that sorts of stuff. And I've been put in them situations where um, you know, the norm is to have a drink in the evening
Yeah.
and sort of like your friends enjoy yourself. But again, it's sort of been a little bit mindful. You know, the entertainment is and the fun of the night is being with the people, not alcohol. So therefore, you don't need to get absolutely blotto to have a
Mm-hmm.
good time.
Mm-hmm.
You can have 2 or 3 pints or a couple of shorts in my case, um, and still have just a good night
Yeah.
and walk home sober.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And
But not
the fact
not
that I've asked you about the results and you haven't even mentioned like how much weight you lost, all you've done is talk about the lifestyle change, the habits and the new routines that you've built, how that changes how you felt, but also they're the things that drive the progress. That's why we lost the weight, and that's why we will continue to lose the weight because we've built lifestyle changes, changes that we're not hating every second of it. We are, this is just us. This is the new
yeah.
version of us that this is the way we identify ourselves. And if I was to say to you that, somebody was on the fence about joining this program, they weren't sure, they travel, uh, whatever that looks like for them, and they weren't sure they could even make the progress. What would you say to somebody who's considering joining and is on the fence right now?
Do it. Get off the fence. I mean, it is as simple as that. Fundamentally, there is no. In my experience, and as I say, the reason I joined the program is because I've seen results in other people, so I
Yeah,
knew that it worked,
yeah,
and it worked for me. Um, the the whatever doubts anyone may have about whether or not this is right for them, um, very easily will be put to sleep because the results will speak for themselves. Yeah, I didn't mention the weight as because I mean I think it's given that you're going to lose weight if you go on to some form of
yeah,
healthy lifestyle,
yeah,
whatever. And yeah, for me, like I reckon, like I say, before I started weighing myself regularly when I started on this program, I was probably post 100, like 103-ish, and I'm now 83. So I've lost 20 kilos in a
yeah,
year. I've lost 14 kilos in 7 months.
yeah,
So yeah, that is a massive result, and it's it has got to the point where everybody that I meet people that I know that I maybe haven't seen for a few months, the first thing they say now, even if I've got baggy jumpers and thick coats on,
mm,
just facially, they're like, "You're looking good, Steve. You
yeah,
lost weight." Do you know what I mean, everybody notices it straight away, and yeah, lots. Yes, I have, but I've been working at it. Do you know what I mean? It's not something that's just happened. I haven't just sort of like woke up in the morning and I'm 20
yeah,
kilos lighter than I was. Yeah, I mean it's been it's been something that I've worked at, but and going back to the thing about anyone who's in two minds as to whether or not they've got to want to do it. Get
yeah,
off the fence, definitely.
yeah,
This this program will work, and I'm not the only person it's worked for. I mean, there's other guys that I've chatted to on the the group help and support you get is massive, and it really does make a big difference. But the results are there, but you've got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be given all the tools in the world to show you how to progress.
Mm.
But fundamentally, you know, I, you give, we've done this together, but I'm the one who's actually
Showing up
put
day
in the
after
effort.
day.
So when you've said to me, right, this week, Steve, we're going to up steps. We're at 20,000 now. I want you 20,000 steps every day. Get out and do them. I could have gone, yeah, and I don't know, put my stepometer on the cat's collar or something and just kicked it around the garden. But it's but then at the end of the week, you'd have gone, you haven't lost any weight this week, Steve. Why is that? Because there's accountability for what you do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so you give me the guidance and the motivation. The guys in the group give you the support, and then you make that happen.
Mm.
I, you know what I mean? So anyone who's sitting on the fence and thinking, "Can I do this?" Yes, you can, but you've got to want to, and you've got to put the effort in.
Yeah. For
But
the record, yeah,
the results speak for themselves.
yeah.
The
But
results are there to be attained.
yeah.
But
For the record,
yeah.
yours, just for anyone listening to this, your step goal hasn't been 20,000 a day.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. No,
That
we
was an
didn't get quite
example.
that high.
But
Yeah,
also the
we
fact
didn't
that
get quite that high.
like a lot of guys will, especially guys who travel, right? They want to lose some weight. They find something, they find a way to do it, whether that's cutting out meals in the day, whether that's fasting, whether that's these kind of extreme diets. And they will sometimes lose weight, right? But they're the guys that put that weight back on. And you are now in a
Yes.
situation where you've lost 20 kilos in the last year, 14 in the last 7 months, and you know exactly how to. Well, the reason you've lost that weight is because of lifestyle changes, not implementing some restrictive thing that you cannot wait to stop doing, you know? And so
Yeah.
that's
No, no, no,
how
no.
we lose the weight and we continue to lose the weight, or we stay where we're then happy, right? And because there is no point in doing this if we put in all this work and then we go backwards afterwards, right? And so
No,
you
no.
are you are the product of the work you've put in, the knowledge you've gained, and actually you will be for the rest of your life, you know, and you
Yes.
will be in the
Yeah.
best position possible now to build from this or kind of maintain where you are. And it's been awesome. You've been like incredible to work with, and I'm excited to see where what the future holds for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, definitely.
and yeah, I really appreciate you jumping on and doing this. I feel like anyone watching it, especially guys who, you know, are on the road a lot with their job, it will be really, really awesome for them to hear and reassure them that, you know, results like this, results that you've had are awesome. I'm sure they will have seen it before and after on my page, but hearing from you, you know, and hearing your experiences is invaluable to anyone who is considering this. So again, I appreciate your time, Stephen. I really do.
No, well,
And
I was going to say I appreciate everything that you've done for me, mate. Because as I say, I'm sure I would not be where I am now had I not joined this program and got the guidance and the knowledge from you to get to where I am.
yeah,
So yeah, so it's been a journey but a good and eventful journey. And
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
like you say, it's set me on a path now that yeah, this is, as we said earlier, this is a new me
Yeah,
and a new lifestyle that I'm now partaking in,
yeah.
and yeah,
And
just
reaping the
keep it
rewards.
going. Yeah, definitely,
Absolutely. Awesome, mate. I appreciate your time and yeah,
mate.
appreciate you having this chat.